Hey everyone, it's your boy Anker. We're back with another episode of the Flexwork Podcast. This is the podcast where we get amazing people from all over the world and even our backyard, New York City. And we get them here onto the show so we can interview them and you guys can introduce these people to your world and your audience. So today we have a very special guest, James Giaprakis.
James Giaprakis it is. Thank you
Oh,
for having me.
I was so nervous I was going to say the name wrong, but I said it perfectly.
Perfectly.
Okay.
I think there is a lot of, people that have Greek background around here in New Jersey, right?
We have some phenomenal Greek food.
Oh, yeah.
But I've been to like the Greece areas and stuff. The food isn't that different than what we serve here in New York.
Yes and no. I think the problem with the food here in the United States, as you know, we are in this industry, right?
Yeah.
It's the ingredients, right? It's very hard to find high quality ingredients, even to formulate a beverage, either to your own cuisine. So it's very hard to find like a good tomato. So
Finding a good tomato is truly hard.
yeah,
You almost have to grow it yourself, right?
that's
And now that they
correct.
have vertical gardens and everything in the homes, my wife hasn't approved me installing one yet, but I hope to at some point.
Yeah, it's insane. But you can find that working places we discussed before, like they actually doing farm to table, and
Yeah,
I know you are a
100%.
fan of this.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
So-
this is the Garden State,
Really,
right? It's
yeah.
named New Jersey the Garden State for a reason.
because of this, right?
Yeah.
So I think the only difference is that you can go in a very small place in Greece that it's like as much as this room, like, and you can have the best food
Of your life.
of your lifetime
Right, of
because
course.
the ingredients are so just pure, just a simple raw tomato with salt, olive oil, and oregano is doing like miracles.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. So let's tell everyone at home how we met. I have been hunting for amazing people on LinkedIn,
You did.
and I reached out to you, and I was like, James, come down for a free cup of coffee to my
Yes.
studio. Let me give you a tour, and then let's just talk.
Yes,
And
and
then-
that was amazing approach
Yeah.
because I told you it's I did that similar something like this in Dubai, and that creates a lot of connection with people, and that's the most important thing. I believe that I don't respond at all in LinkedIn because every time you're adding someone, it's like they're pitching you something, even though you don't look for something. But in your case, you're creating value, and that's how you're getting people, right?
absolutely.
You have to create value first, and then see what is the dynamic there. You explore synergies, but
But James, I have to tell you the truth. I was worried that you were a fake person.
why?
Your photo on LinkedIn is perfect.
Yeah,
It looks like it's an AI-driven photo. But then I found you on Instagram, and I'm like, oh no, this is a very good-looking man.
I
with,
have a
like,
good photographer. His name is Jason. I will definitely.
Ludwig would have a big problem. One of my business partners is a world famous photographer, and you might get to meet him if he comes by later.
Yeah.
But I was worried that you weren't a real person
Really?
because you'd be surprised. We've sent this message to maybe 10,000 people,
Mhm.
and maybe only 100 responded.
Really,
And like you said, we want to give value to the people that are coming down to the studio.
definitely. Yeah.
But I mean, when I saw you walk in, I'm like, okay, he's a real person. There's nothing to worry about.
I'm real. Yeah, I am. And I told you that I got so surprised about your approach and your how you actually seeing this, and that's
Yeah.
the right angle. And thank you so much for this.
So when we did the deep dive on you, and then vice versa, you did the deep dive on me,
Yeah.
we realized we're kind of in the same space, right?
True.
Creating products, whether it's
Yeah.
in consumer packaged goods.
Mhm.
I think you did logistics for a little bit.
I did logistics.
You've
and I
probably
still-
had your hand in a bunch of different things like me.
And I have a little bit. I have few things in tech right now. Also, I have few teams that they're running few stuff. You don't know what is going to be your big hit,
Of course.
right?
Right.
So you always have to try the hypothesis, which is if you have an idea and you see a blank space, put just a little bit of money, just create a small team and run this. Maybe 70%, 80% is not going to go, but there is a huge percentage to get a good, very good insight of this, and then you're creating a very valuable business.
Well, let me ask you this, James. What do you define success as? What would you define success?
Success, for me, success is many things. The first thing I wanted to, for me, success personally is to be able to create something that it will make life of other people also easier.
Okay.
Right. And the other on the personal note, what I define success on my personal is just to have my family and everyone set. That I don't have to worry about nothing, and everybody of their lives are set. My daughter, whatever, and that's the definition of success for me. Um, but this is for us. I believe that we are in the same boat. This is not going to stop ever. If you have one successful business, you're going to look for another one and another one and another one. Because I'm sure you go in trips and you say, oh, look at this. Something is missing there. Look at this. So it, the journey never stops.
You know, I decided that the journey can stop.
Oh,
And so this is something I'm very excited to share with you.
yeah.
So I'm going to turn 40 this year.
Mhm.
I know I don't look it, right? I look young, like in my 20s.
That's
But
true.
the reality is there's a number in my brain that if I can get to that number, I'm okay with having to stop create from scratch and to switch my brain into building and investing
Yeah.
into other people's projects. And I think I recognized very young when I don't know if you remember Napster and when
Yeah.
everyone would illegally download music.
Hmm.
I'm really good at finding gems
Wow.
in the rough, right? Whether it's a song when I used to DJ and everything that I did in that world, or whether it's a business concept that could be a hit, right?
Mhm.
Like you said, sometimes you don't know what can or can't be a hit,
Yes.
but I've been very good at identifying certain opportunities.
That is that is actually it's a gift. So
I'm very lucky in
yeah.
that aspect.
So in that aspect, my gift is creating things and you know also scaling it. But the, what I found more indulging, I would say, it's to create things that can actually change something.
Yeah.
And the reason I went to CPG space, I was in hospitality, so I found that when we were creating in Michelin star, let's say beverage programs, people we create these products that they were mocktails, let's say, but they had active ingredients that they were supporting, like let's say digestion, or they supporting immunity, they supporting like we're using ingredients like sea buckthorn and like chlorella in the cocktail and stuff.
Right.
And people they were so um, because in Michelin there is also the aspect that you have to present everything, right? So people are so interested to learn about those things, and they will keep saying, "Oh, you should make that a product. It's going to be amazing." And that's why how Drink Gifted back then created. We created products that high end ingredients and ingredients that never used in the market before, um, and to support certain daily functions. That went well in the beginning, but then there is a point that uh, you need absolutely you need a good marketing team in this
Yeah.
to
For
go
sure.
to the CPG space. You absolutely the number one, whatever you think is important, it's not. The number one is the marketing. So you need to find the good people to work with, and this is I didn't know. So it's very important, I believe. This space is pretty saturated, but if you want really to stand out, and that I learned also the bad way, you have to have a good marketing team. And also, right now, the thing that you should do, and what we did, Carlos, in Dubai, you have to create the experience. It's not
100%.
anymore about products. Any product, as I said, I took the products out of the Instagram because it was not ready in the mother market. Because we also had the biggest like Whole Foods of Middle East. It was Spanish. We had an agreement with them, but I took everything online because everyone is jumping what is new right now, and
Right.
that's copying the product. So if you're copying the products, then you can make financial projections for 10 years. Your company is not going to last 10 years.
Right.
Then it's going to be money. Who has the bigger pockets? So you have to create experience, which means every CPG brand or whatever you want to create, you have to create a point of sale, actual, a retail that you can give different kind of experience to your client. Maybe you blend it with food, maybe you blend it with different experiences, but this is right now where the market is going. And I was in Dubai and in a conference, and everybody from London, I know you're very familiar, they have uh, they were working for Under Armour, big companies. Everybody was saying about this experience. And if you see Nike, they have the stores, they're selling online.
Right.
Under Armour doing the same. Like everybody's this thing going back to retail because people they're tired of Instagram. They're tired of this, you know, one way thing. So you need to have that, but you need to have also something to support the brand every single day, every single hour.
I think they call it omni-channel retail presence,
Yeah.
right? So the same experience you have on the mobile application at
Yeah.
Nike, you have the same experience in the Nike store in New
Exactly.
York. And then if you end up going to Foot Locker or anywhere else, even that little end cap where all the products are like organized and merchandised, it should still have the same experience for the end user.
Absolutely.
I think that brands that come out in 2025 that don't have the foresight to create omni-channel experiences, they're going to struggle
Yes.
for sure, right?
Absolutely.
But a lot of people come to me with the question of like, how do we do that on a budget? And how do we do that if all we have is, you know, $50,000 or $100,000? It's almost sometimes I tell them not to do it, right? Because they're going to fail. But
Exactly.
there's things like TikTok Shop with Spark ads and things that have come out in
My
that
God, you
world.
saw that? This
There's
is
so much
yeah.
opportunity.
This is the live shopping experience. You
Right.
saw that
Yeah.
they're doing in China. This
Yeah, of
is the
course.
future. They like, believe me. I believe this is the future. I forgot his name. He's one of the biggest entrepreneurs. Gary.
Vaynerchuk.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was saying exactly the same.
Yeah.
There is a lot of things to do. Yes. But again, you can do, let's say, if you're going to start small in the beginning, you can do a collaboration. I know so many stores, like, let's say, pop-up stores or whatever. You can start like this. It's hard in the beginning to get a lease or whatever, or even a small stand that you
Yeah.
can have in the summer in Williamsburg, the Domino Park or Prospect Park or whatever, where people you have to have this one-to-one experience with the client because we all so much consumed with in the phone, right?
100%.
I just realized I spent like 2.5, 3 hours, 4 hours in the phone. Your information, they're just going away very fast. But if you get an experience, like I would say, if you want to approach people, approach them when they're having fun. Try to put your product in a hotel, in a mini bar, if you
Yeah,
have a
great idea.
beverage, like in a somewhere that they're going to actually see the brand in a different perspective, rather to be 6 seconds, 300 beverages in the aisle.
But
You know?
James, how do you create an activation in a city like New York where there's hundreds of brands trying to get in your face every single day? I'm sure you've had some experience trying to differentiate yourself, right? Because at the end of the day, if you don't capture the user's information, that activation was just money down the drain.
Absolutely. Also, I learned from my competitor too. It was Dirty Lemon back then. You know, Jacques did amazing job. He made a product that it got attention. He had all of this Instagram presence, etc. But at the end of the day, you have to have a good product first.
Of course.
So many of those brands, they don't pay attention to R&D. They just want to put the product out, and if you have a good packaging, if you good have a good branding, they think they're gonna sell. In the beginning, it's like this, but you don't have this. You don't stay long. People they know you cannot sell lemon water and salt and expect in a good packaging.
Sure.
So I spent 2.5 years in R&D. It was very hard to create the products, and I spent a lot of money on that too. And my biggest mistake was to go to do perishable product because it's very hard to the supply chain it's impossible to get profitable out of this. You have to go very high scale. But there is also a ways if you approach specific groups, right? If you capture specific groups and you grow through them, you don't expect to grow at once. Let's say when we're doing marketing, you target Soho, only Soho.
Yeah.
Don't spend your marketing in New York. New York is a huge place, right? Soho, you go in there to NoHo, okay? So that's why you spread and you grow in the brand slowly.
You go to a boutique's location or store, right?
Exactly.
Do a demonstration day where you're sampling out the
It's
product.
yeah, always there is something. Like it's a. I think that if I have like right now I want to launch in Europe, I will have one person to just scatter all the information through the web, where is brands like events or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, this is so important, and yeah, there is a ways. There is ways, 100%. But I will say, don't expect to build one product or two or five products and just leave it like this. It's not. It needs a lot of work. It's very capital intensive. There needs a lot
So
of money.
why don't we talk about what you're currently working on?
Okay, so currently, after we have this Dubai thing on hold for a little bit, Kalos, which is the beverages that and powders, etc., wellness, um, that we started there. And the only reason what we just a little bit postpone it is because we're trying to blend it with the retail from day one. Because there is no much there's no products like those, and they copying brands very fast. So I want to be ready to launch with the retail as well. So I create the buzz at the once. And the money is not the problem there. The problem is different manufacturing,
Yeah.
etc.
There's so few manufacturing plants in the Middle East.
It is impossible almost to reach the technology right now that we have here. And it's easier to build a plant that and to do it yourself, and it's cheaper. I will tell you at the end of the day. But like and then
That
you're
depends
going.
on who you know, right?
It's a
And how to
huge
get it approved.
investments after that, because you say, okay, you have to go there to see what's going on, right? I
Right.
went there because I know the market there it's better than here. Like, let's say, right? Uh, it's a small market, but they are very loyal to these products, especially to luxury wellness. They are very loyal.
Absolutely.
And then I am working right now to a new brand here. I have a couple of things in tech that I told you, but I'm going in a completely different direction. I'm just targeting right now uh, the difference between um, we're going to alcoholic beverages.
Okay.
Yes, because I'll be honest with wellness, it's your chances is very limited, because I was in Dubai, like in Saudi Arabia, and Cristiano Ronaldo just launched an app.
Yeah.
Like, we were ready to launch an app, and then the people that are getting involved with this market, they have like millions of followers. It's like very hard to keep up. So everybody's jumping there. So now I saw an opportunity in that space, in the RTD, ready to drink cocktails, but in a little bit more luxurious and upscale way that they're selling right now in the market. It's a very niche. It's a branding from the 20s, from the Gatsby era.
Okay.
Uh, Beautiful packaging, beautiful formulations, and I drink alcohol, so I will go with something that I know.
And New York is a very big market.
Oh
if
my
you're going
God,
to focus on
yes.
that to start.
And to be honest, because I was working in the beverage industry in hospitality, so I know all the distributors here. So I called
So
them.
you have an ace in the hole right
I
there.
called them and I said, this, tell me. Booming, booming. We just had the new department. We're launching new department for this. So now we need to sign NDAs for that. But I'm telling you, it's a market that everybody's jumping, but they don't do the extra,
Yeah.
something extra,
You know what it is? I've worked with a handful of alcoholic beverage brands over the years. But if you don't know the distributors and you don't know how every individual retailer operates, you don't have the edge,
No.
right? If you don't know what it costs to have a sample event at Buy Right Liquors, which has the biggest locations in New Jersey, it's so hard to leave New York and enter New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
On the same note, if you don't have people that know the bodegas and like the small liquor stores, because sometimes they sell the most of these RTDs than
Yeah.
anywhere else in New York, more than the liquor stores and anywhere else. But you have to have the people that will go restock that store consistently.
Definitely.
One problem we had several times was we would do partnerships with influencers, the influencer were to go to the store, they only had 6 units and it would sell out in minutes. And then what do? Everyone's there at the store, but they have no product to buy.
Oh wow.
But the distributor didn't understand that we're sending an influencer on this date, so overstock the store, and they couldn't convince the retailer to buy the product either.
So that's why I have a different strategy. So like when I was doing that, I had my own product. I was going like, exactly how you have to provide value to them to accept
Yeah,
you, right?
100%.
So I was telling him like, this is put it there, just keep it. Just I will come back in 2 weeks to see what happened. No charge,
Yeah,
right? So when the case finished, then you pay me, and that was the you understand what like,
of
it's
course.
very hard for a new brand to convince. But if you convince if you go with this approach, and this is your market, this is part of your marketing, you cannot expect you have to pay me every single product. No, it's not gonna
Right.
happen. 2,000, 3,000 cans. It's for your marketing. You should know that, or bottles.
100%. Yeah.
You should do that. If you don't do that, you're not gonna have fluency on what you're doing. Like you're going to do an event and you are not set. Why you even do that?
Agreed. I don't even think 2,000, 3,000 is enough. It's more like 10,000,
Yeah,
20,000.
I'm just telling you. After that, there is coordination with the distribution. Okay, but you need few locations that you're going to have good locations that you're going to have like
Yeah.
steady good flow, and then you can direct your people, the people that are buying from the store, like from your website too. Yeah,
100%.
because
yeah.
then you have more profit. Obviously, you don't have the distributor, the pay, and all of these. So
Have you looked into all the shipping requirements in this country?
yeah,
when it comes to-
I was doing. Yes, it's hard to ship, but that's why I'm focusing only in New York right now, in New Jersey.
which is the biggest market.
Yeah,
Period.
and
right?
then
So
if
that
this
works.
thing goes, because I travel a lot, I know there is opportunities in Texas, but then I think that what is at the back of my mind, I think you should find some local there, and collaborate with locals in the other area. Rather, I'm not sure. Like I have to check 100% how it goes for another state.
Yeah.
I didn't went that far, but
Fortunately, I have all the answers, so I can give them to you.
so I'm happy for this.
Yeah.
So that's good that we met. Sometimes God gives us what we need, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, like I'm targeting right now mostly on New York, New Jersey, and also I think the law is that if it doesn't go to business and it goes to a person, you can deliver yourself something like
Yeah,
this.
there's some complicated laws, different
Yeah.
per state, and based on how you age verify. There's just a whole bunch of stuff
Yeah.
that goes with it.
Yeah,
And then now with cannabis being another thing that's legalized in New York, there's a whole different world of
Yeah.
rules and regulations. But we can talk more about that.
yeah.
offline.
Afterwards, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
So I guess one awesome opportunity here is like this is a chance for you to get to know me and for me
Yeah.
to get to know you. Do you have any questions for me?
of course, of course. I know you come from CPG. I don't know
Yeah.
your branch though. Like, tell me about you.
So I guess the best way to put this into a story is that I was one of those guys that tried 100 different things and failed 100 times,
Wow.
but I learned along the way, right?
Yes.
Whether it was the size of the font on a business card
Mhm.
or the font choices on a package design or how to organize a landing page for a website.
Yeah.
And I was involved in things that were truly omni-channel from a very early stage of my life because I was involved in music as a DJ
Oh, wow.
at different things. And when you're trying to get people to come to a nightlife event, it's kind of the best training for CPG you could think of, right?
Absolutely.
Because people have to get brand equity with a promoter very quickly, right?
Mhm.
Whether it's a DJ, music, whatever it is. And then you want them to add your music to playlists and all that kind of stuff that needs to happen after that fact.
Okay.
So when I got into CPG, it was around 2010,
Mm.
and I had only marketed professional businesses like doctors' offices, restaurants, things like that before
Wow.
that. And I mean, I knew products were a big thing in the world, but I had never had an opportunity to get into the CPG space. So in 2010, someone approached me saying, "Hey, can you design a label for a package that I have coming out?" I didn't know about UPC codes. I didn't know about compliance. I just thought, okay, this is a cool project. Let me design a label. So I threw together some fonts. I went to GNC Environment Shop and I studied all the labels and I
Yes.
figured out what could work. I faked a UPC code and
Faked it?
yeah, I faked it. I didn't know any better, right? I just put lines together and I copied like the format of something else. I looked at the supplement facts panels and I'm like, okay, I could recreate this based on what these guys are giving me. And granted, I
You
had
got sued at the end?
no. I didn't do anything wrong to a point where there'd be trouble, but
Yes,
there was blatant things I didn't know what I was doing.
of
Right?
course, of course.
Long and behold, that line turned out to be a rocket ship and like a true unicorn in the space because we kind of created the world's first entirely female marketed supplement line. There were some
That's
there were
so
some products
interesting.
towards females over the years, but the formula that we had as a supplement, like over the counter, not needing a prescription or anything, it had the ability to help people supplement a weight loss journey and to potentially lose
Wow.
weight. But who wants to lose weight more than women, right? It's not men that are sitting here like, how do I lose weight? And
Yeah.
all the marketing in America to that point was very male dominated in the supplement space.
Wow.
So from 2011
Now
to
it's the opposite, I think.
100%.
Yeah?
100%. And
Yeah.
I would like to say that I have a little bit to do with how that market
Really?
got steered.
You changed the whole market?
Oh,
Oh my
100,
God.
100%. Yeah. So from 2010 to 2012, we were kind of the pioneers behind this idea of influencer marketing. We were taking CPG digital, which no one really had done before that. And the beauty of Instagram in its nascent stages around those years was that no one had photo as a tool.
Yeah.
And if you're selling aesthetics and weight loss and this journey,
yeah.
photography makes such a big difference,
course.
right?
Of course.
So we were using graphics, typography, the images that we had of people to show like this is what your life could be like, and to
Yes.
convince people to make a lifestyle change.
Yeah, yeah.
But what you said earlier reigns true. It was an omni-channel presence of support
Of course.
to make that lifestyle change successful
Yeah.
that really brought us the success that we had.
Absolutely.
So from
So that was pioneering too as well, right?
yeah, well, no, I think omni-channel support has been around for a long time,
Yeah.
right? There's gyms that you'll join that they'll give you free personal training, they'll give you free nutrition, so on and so forth. Of course, you pay for it,
Yeah.
right? It's very expensive.
Do you know where I got this idea with the wellness that you have to have a presence? I will tell you where. From Equinox. Have you go to Equinox?
Yeah, of course.
Everybody's going to work after at Equinox. And I said, you need a space that you provide to them the wellness, the work, and the relaxation.
Yeah.
So and then the CPG products on the side, like to buy products from you. But that's how you grow. That was the idea. It was so much. So there is a need there. People, they actually want this kind of spaces. It was packed. So that's what I realized that is the retail. It's so important. Yeah.
It's once you get someone into your orbit, you just start solving their problems, right? If their problem is post-workout, they need a recovery product,
Yes.
and just give it to them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
If it's post-workout, they need 2 hour space to handle a call because they don't want to drive the 30 minutes to get to their office.
Yeah.
Give them a space to make the phone call.
Exactly.
And I think Equinox does a great job. I think Lifetime Fitness does a great job.
Yeah.
I'm even seeing newer and better LA Fitnesses get built these days, where
Yes.
they're called like LA Fitness signature locations. And like they'll even have co-working spaces and things that you can use.
And we wanted to put, I'll tell you this too, AI, AI yoga.
AI yoga.
Yeah, with because the whole thing going there, I told you about this experience. The spaces around us is going to change.
Yeah.
Like if you see what's going on in Japan right now, what they're building all these malls,
Yeah.
and you see dolphins, like real dolphins going around you. Like if you
The
create
holograms, right? that
yeah,
they have,
like it's like huge screens, but it's like based with AI. And I did a post on LinkedIn, I think, and the only person who liked that, it was one astronaut from NASA. Like
Okay.
like because I said like this is where we're going right now. And the
James, you have astronauts from NASA following you?
I have this one guy, yeah.
That is incredible.
Like, I don't know what he found, but I don't know. It's like sometimes his energy. he's very also you to him is very he's an old guy like also but he's very open-minded like whatever he see with AI and whatever is transformational he's on top of that. And this guy this project was again this is to create it in Dubai because they love these things, to create like these wellness centers like with AI, backed with AI, that it will give you the experience to work in a forest
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
And then there is a yoga that is like it give you the feel that you are in a field. And I found there's two companies in the world that are doing those things. One is in Japan, they declined to talk to me, and the other one it was I don't know somewhere in Europe. They built the huge. They built the Qatar um, airport that it
Yeah.
voted the best
Beautiful
airport
space. Right.
in the world, right? It's amazing. And they're building these spaces, and we had a conversation. The logistics are insane
Insane.
behind this.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I think that this is not the year that because you cannot be. It's not easy to make another one and another one and another one to grow. So you need a little bit more time with technology to catch up and not to need all this heavy logistics behind this in order to be able to replicate the product.
Yeah, I look at the Sphere in Las Vegas. It's another beautiful experience, right?
Amazing.
Fully
I've been
immersive. But to try to make that in personalized pods, it would be so complicated and expensive.
exactly.
I mean, the creative alone, right? To be able to have the foresight of how to design the file that has to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
submitted and uploaded
Yeah,
to these
but this is
schools.
where we're going. Like
Yeah, for sure.
That's
No,
for
no
sure.
doubt.
So yeah, so your brand, if you want to have a brand with future, you have to take all of this in consideration. I believe, like if you don't see it like a grab and go thing,
Yeah.
like for 5 years, if you really want to build a brand that is for the next 15, 20 years, and like I think, and I believe even earlier, like technology is going very fast right now. So with AI right now, like things that it took like months to do, you're doing it like in a day.
I want to see what an AI yoga studio looks like because I've never even heard of something like that.
Yeah,
But I guess it's like an instructor that's fake teaching me what
actually,
to do.
yes, it's an instructor like this, and you have the cooling things you put in
Okay.
that you're feeling that you are in a ocean, or you're feeling you are in the bed of.
And this exists in the UK or in
It
Qatar?
doesn't exist. We tried to create this in Dubai, so it's a project, and
I'm gonna have to come visit that when it opens because that
but
sounds incredible.
yeah, it will definitely it will. Like I had like Forbes approaching me back then. We say, "Oh, we need to write something about this in Forbes Australia," and I say, "I'm not interested in Forbes Australia, and
Yeah.
why should I open?" Now I'm telling that to you, but why should I open my cards to like in that vast,
No, 100%.
because everybody's jumping on things. Um,
But James, before we end the show today, one question: how do people follow you on social media? If they want to see the journey of the companies, is LinkedIn the best place?
Yes, LinkedIn is the best place. I keep low a little bit. Sometimes when I'm on creative mode, I
Yeah.
create companies or whatever, creating projects. So I'm hiding from social media. If you see me loud on social media, it means that
Something's coming.
something
Yeah.
is coming. Yeah, my LinkedIn mostly the most important
Okay.
for me to connect with people rather than my Instagram. That
Well, I'm going to make sure I link James's LinkedIn profiles all in the captions. So if you guys want to hear more about James' projects, make sure you follow him. Do you have anything else that you want to say to people at home that are catching this episode and discovering
just follow the journey, never give up. There is so much things you can do outside. The world is changing so rapidly, and I think that it needs you for the journey on the CPG. Yeah,
and if you want to get James to come to your studio, or if you want to have James come to your office, build a studio, invite him to your podcast, and
definitely.
he'll come. That's what works.
I will come. Definitely. This is one of my favorite things to do.
Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll catch you guys on the next episode.